I like to say revenue generating tasks because when it comes to sales, that's what you need to be focused on.
In my view, I kind of sit and go, man, we got one life that we know of, so let's make it count.
Um, Following what my heart tells me is important to me, not only in my business, but also in my home life, and having those two come together. And I had kind of a breakdown not too long ago, realizing that those two things were not coming together. A comment from my daughter, which was a slap in the face of, oh, mommy doesn't have friends, she has clients. I remember the first time I made, like the first sale I made, and I was like, oh my God, like, oh my gosh, like I can write my own ticket. Like, it's funny. Even people in my network, a lot of people in my network were like, "Yeah, I would love to bring you on as a client, coaches, and one in particular who really focuses on women's health. And then I'd find myself, in a ball crying. It's like, you think there's a misalignment here?
And when that internal strength and understanding is awakened or recognized, whatever's hitting you from the outside doesn't seem to have that roller coaster effect.
This is the path we're going to follow. We're going to follow it until we see results and then pivot.
When we are really soul aligned, when we know who we are at the core and know what we want, we have a better decision making power.
I realized, wow, this is what my daughter thinks of me. And I mean, I got really quiet because I didn't want her to realize that I was crying. But the reality is that if my family and my daughter are not okay, then nothing is okay because I am doing this work for my family. If they tell me to go F myself, well, then I don't want them as a client. And I'm okay with that now. I had more work on my plate than I had before, but less overhead,
Ah,
less less responsibility.
and what's so interesting as well is when you said when you dropped, so you're moving towards more alignment for sure. I can see it as well. But when you dropped those other services and started to become more aligned, and you got, more work on your plate and less overhead, and I'm guessing probably more enjoyment in terms of what you're doing.
I am a complete and total mess when it comes to knowing what's going in, what's coming out, what should be going into my pocket, what should be going to the government.
So I've known businesses, they've grown, their revenue is, a couple million now, or even more than that. So it's about being really strategic, not only
Mhm.
with your business, but first with you.
Right.
And then it's that marriage, it's that aligning the two and ensuring that they fit and that you're not going to
Right.
get divorced from it.
Wait a second. Why am I working 80 hours a week, making the same amount that I was before? In fact, less because now I'm working three times more. The biggest mistake that I made is not listening to, I guess, the red flags that were going off in my head along the journey. Working more and working harder is not the answer. Working smarter is truly the answer because that is going to follow more in line typically with what you want, typically with the reason you started your business.
Because we do have our own internal wisdom when we are open enough to hear it